8 categories of goals you might want to look into for next year. Health and fitness, money and finances, career or business, social life, family, personal growth and development, hobbies and recreation, spiritual development. It's often easy to get confused about what goals to set for the new year. Sometimes we find ourselves setting the same goals over and over and over again. And certain aspects of our lives become unbalanced because we put so much energy into some other aspects, not even realizing that the other options were there all along. Hi, my name is Anthony Sani, and on #NoThinking, I share productivity and personal development insights to help you achieve your best in life, career, and business. And this is a bit of a special episode today because I'm actually going to be sharing with you a process that I take personal clients of mine, coaching clients of mine through to help optimize their performance and their goals for the coming year. This process is based on the work of Paul J. Meyer. He developed what's called the Wheel of Life. That is completely his thing. He gets full credit for it. What I've done with his concept of the Wheel of Life is I've taken it beyond how it's typically used as a coaching tool, and I've transformed it into a very effective goal setting tool. And those were the 8 categories we talked about earlier. Those are the 8 categories that form the Wheel of Life. I'm going to walk through the sections. I'll share with you what each section means, examples of what kind of goals you might want to be thinking about setting if it resonates with you in that section. Number 1 on the Wheel of Life is health and fitness. And this is so interesting because health and fitness is probably the most popular goal people set, specifically in North America. According to Statista.com, in 2022, 3 of the top goals were this: 1, to exercise more; 2, to eat healthier; 3, to lose weight. All 3 of these are health and fitness goals. And it's not surprising. Health and fitness is a huge part of our lives. So many people feel like they're not happy with how they look or feel or the level of energy. So that is one category you might want to consider. Is it important enough to you? The number 2 category is money and finances. I once heard a saying that money doesn't solve all your problems, but it definitely solves all your money problems. The truth is, we all have different degrees of want and need for money or for material things. What's important is not what other people think, but what you think. How much money is enough for you? How much money would make you feel happy, secure, and all the other good things that money can do? How much money do you need to have to be able to give more, to be able to help others that don't have? These are all the things you want to think about when you think about this category of goals. Do you really want more money? The society tells us we always need more, but sometimes you don't. It's not important to you. So keeping that in mind and being honest with yourself and with the values that you looked at in the previous video. By the way, if you haven't watched that previous video, some of this might sound strange to you. You might want to give it a watch over here or look in my feed for the video on setting your goals early. But back to this video. Based on your values, what you know that's important to you, and your mission in the new year, how important is money? The next is career or business. Do you want a promotion? Do you want to change careers? Do you want to grow your business? Do you want to grow revenues? Do you want to sell your business? What are your goals in career or business? What kind of growth are you looking at in your career or your business? What kind of change do you want to see in your career or your business? This is the section or the category of the Wheel of Life that deals with that. So is that an option for you? Is that something that's on your mind based on your values? Maybe the job or career you have now doesn't align with your values. Maybe the position you have within the career, you might love the career, but the position does not align with your values. I know this was the case for me a few years ago where I was in an industry I loved, but I wasn't quite doing what I wanted to do within that industry. And so I discovered that was something I wanted to work on. And over the course of 2 years, actually, I educated myself, made some moves, did my best, and the stars aligned and good things happened, and I was able to move into that position. So that might be the case for you. Consider that. Is your career or your business something that you want to work on in the new year? Your social life. It's interesting. Social life doesn't really rank high on most people's goals. How important is improving your social life? I know for me a few years ago, I just wanted to improve the number and the quality of friends that I had. So that was a goal for that year. And I was able to build relationships with 2 important people that have become an important part of my life today. But that was because I recognized that as a need. So is that a need for you? How happy are you with the current state of affairs in your social life? So the next one, your family. family. Most of us take our families for granted, and that's really unfortunate because our families are the closest ones to us. They're the ones who feel the most hurt when we're hurt, and they're the ones who enjoy the most when things go well for us, typically. So are there changes you want to make in your family? This could be everything from spending more time with your family, spending more time maybe talking to your parents. Maybe you don't talk to your parents as much. Maybe you don't spend time with your children as much. Maybe you don't spend time with your partner as much. And you want to improve those relationships. How important is it this coming year that you build upon the relationship with your family? Number 6, personal growth and development. This could be anything. It could be just getting better as a person. It could be improving how productive you are. This entire thing you see here today, from the book to my seminars, to the speeches, to these videos, they all started out as an exercise in personal development. Wanting to get better as a human being led to everything that's happening, at least on the business side for me today. So don't underestimate the power of developing yourself in personal development and personal growth. Is that something that's important to you going into next year? Let's move on to the next one. Number 7, hobbies and recreation. This is one that a lot of us don't think about. I remember a few years ago, I just woke up and realized I'm not doing anything for fun anymore. I used to do so many things for fun. I used to swim. I used to play my PlayStation. I used to do a lot of different things. But over time, as life got busier, as my family grew, as my business grew, as everything else grew, my time for fun just shrank and shrank and shrank. And that was when I decided, you know what? I'm going to go out and start doing things for me. I picked up the hobby of photography. Until today, that hobby continues to be a source of pure joy and creativity. As a matter of fact, this video you're watching now is a product of developing photography skills. But the point for now is this: are hobbies and fun something you want to improve in the coming year? Let's move on to the last one, and some might argue the most important one, which is spiritual development. Now, spiritual development is different, but not completely decoupled from religious development. The two things are related, but they're not the same thing. People can be spiritual without being religious. And trust me, there are a lot of religious people who are not spiritual at all. The simplest way I've thought of to define spiritual development or spirituality is embracing in some sense, how big we are as individuals, how much impact we can make in the lives of others. But in another deeply more profound sense, embracing how tiny we are, how much we depend on this big, beautiful world and universe for our own sustenance, how much we depend on other people, and coming to being one with that truth. Ultimately, we are part of something immensely greater than we are. And a lot of people develop themselves spiritually through mindfulness, through prayer, through other practices that just keep us in that state of mind of appreciating our place in the bigger world and in the bigger creation. So if that's something you want to work on, I think it's worthwhile. For me, it's always a part of my goals every single year, and it keeps getting better and better. And I know it's still a long way to go, but it's something I depend on. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is something I usually work through with my clients over the course of many sessions, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to take advantage of this because it taps into your true desires and not what people think you should do, and not even what you think you should do. It taps into the core of what's really important to you and increase the chances that you will actually achieve that. If you'd like more detail on this, it's in chapter 7 of my book, The Law of the Vital Few. I'll put a link to that book as well somewhere around here. If you'd like to learn more about the concept of setting big goals, I'll put a video up here that you can watch to help you understand this a little bit better. And I think that video also has the description to getting you to that blog post that has some of this information. Until next time, my friend, go out there and make your goals a reality. I will be rooting for you. Bye for now.